Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Capricorn energy. And for this round, we're going to ask what's going on. Then we're going to ask why is it going on? And any advice. And then the possible outcome if you were to take the advice. So, let me get the cards out here. Then I'll turn down the camera so you can see what is going on. So we have to take into account and realize that, everybody can harness their Capricorn energy in different ways. And Capricorn energy can be about what we feel will be like victorious and a legacy in our life. Some people think it's about having loving, nurturing relationships where people are acting with character and integrity and they can feel proud of themselves. And some people, that's lower on the list because what's maybe more important to them is all about the ego and the image and the money and how successful people say they were in a more worldly way, And the thing is, life's about balance. We have this dualistic nature. We live in a dualistic world, and some people get tipped out of balance and they lose perspective. And, some people don't harness high vibe Capricorn energy. They harness, and we all tap into Capricorn energy. Some people harness a much more worldly or much more shadowy Capricorn energy. It's like indulgence or ego or image or money is their drug of choice. That's what they're sure is going to make them feel better. And just like an addict in other things that people could indulge in, it becomes like an addiction to them. And it can wreck and destroy lives just as much as easily as like drugs and alcohol can. It's just like the hidden destroyer of relationships or something. Anyway, let's go see what's going on. Okay, so this is what is going on. Some people aren't showing something to the world. Why? Because of the Seven of Wands. I would say the high vibe people, other people don't know and understand what's going on with them because the people that aren't in high vibe Capricorn energy don't get it. The other people are operating from ego. Seven of Wands, Leo energy. The other people are operating from ego and they're defensive and more self-motivated. And the other people that harness high vibe Capricorn energy, those people are standing up for themselves and they're moving forward, not in ego. So, people who do things to try to shadowy energy can be about trying to create an illusion about who you are. Like, look how wonderful everything is, and taking action more out of because you're in your ego and immaturity and lust and greed and pettiness and envy and jealousy and revenge. And so the people who are taking action in shadowy energy don't understand how the other people maybe seem to be moving forward victoriously and looking like victorious and successful, but they're not doing the same things they are. And they just don't get it. So the shadowy people are harnessing, well, they reject balancing out their strong emotions. And the Temperance card is Sagittarius energy, which is about higher learning and education. And the people that are in their ego reject doing that. We have to get out of our ego. The truth sets us free to live our life differently. We heal, we grow, we mature, we face our fears, our insecurities, and they're unwilling to do that. So they reject high vibe Sagittarius energy, and instead they're just trying to balance out their emotions that they're in their ego and they're acting in these kind of more immature ways of being. And the high vibe people, they don't understand how are you doing what you're doing. And the reason you're able to do what you're doing is because you are kind of like, this is a universe card, you're like aligned with the divine. You are listening to love and intuition to guide you, not your ego. And it's helping you maintain balance within yourself. And you're also doing this work within yourself to wrap your brain around this game of life. I have the free will choice to be open, honest, authentic, just, fair, loving, act with character and integrity. So does everyone else. And the people who aren't making that free will choice, I'm going to stand my guard against those people because I've learned some lessons in life that they're not moving forward in a way that I view victorious. They might view the way they live their life victorious, and that's fine. Everybody's got free will. But you harness your Capricorn, Leo, and Sagittarius energy differently. And so you could be in relationships, not in relationships, whatever you got going on in your life. The high vibe people are standing up and defending the people in their life who do act from high vibe energy. They're truthful, they're honest, they're just, they're fair. They treat other people the way they like to be treated. And they're standing up against people in their life who are more bossy or controlling or prideful or egotistical or manipulative. Why? What caused all this? What's happening? The Eight of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. And the reason it came out is because of the Ace of Wands. There's a maximum of 10 in every suit. So this is the Eight of Swords. That's the 10 of Pentacles. If you're 8 swords up in your head, you're up in your head about 2 cups of love. Some people can't decide, do I align with my more loving, hopeful, believing nature? Or do I align with my more worldly nature? Maybe living more from my mind than my heart, making my life more about me, making my life more about money and materialism, or indulging myself. And you could have been, the 10 of Pentacles can represent foundations that we're involved in. It can be people in our own family that we could have grown up in. It could be people we came into relationship later in our life, friends, romantic partners that we thought were going to be in our life long term. It could be a workplace. We've got to deal with all these different people in the world that all have free will choice. Some of them have freed themselves from the things that manipulate them to be more self-aware, because the 10 of Pentacles is Virgo energy, and in high vibe, it is people who've done work within themselves to heal and grow and mature themselves, to be more self-insightful about why they take the actions that they take. And they've learned lessons in life. If I take action out of pride, ego, immaturity, it's probably not going to work out well. So they've learned to, everybody can have fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. Everybody can have, well, I want to do this and I want it my way. But people who've learned lessons in life get out of their head about their fears and their insecurities, and they choose to be inspired by love. I've learned lessons in life. If I act in a shadowy way, this probably isn't going to turn out well. I need to calm my own fears and insecurities and defensive nature and choose love. Offer love to the situation. Maintain balance within yourself. Offer other people love and encouragement. And see how it goes. Love is the best choice. To be patient and kind, to treat other people the way you like to be treated, to act with self-discipline. But some people haven't learned those lessons yet because maybe they have always lived more from their mind than their heart. And that shadowy energy can be about trying to manipulate people to get them to do what you want. And we all have our ways of being in the world that's kind of like our default. And for some people, they didn't work through some issues in their life where their default is patience, kindness, love. It's like, oh my God, I'm fearful, I'm insecure, I'm defensive, I'm in my ego, I think it should be more about me. And then they try to manipulate people, and they take this kind of, impulsive, reckless action. As people hopefully learn lessons in life, they take Virgo energy also is about taking slow, steady steps. Some people are like, oh my God, I got to do it now. And that's also, the Temperance card can be about being patient. Some people are not patient. It's kind of like, I want what I want now. I'm in my ego. I'm mad. I'm sad. I'm defensive. I'm triggered. And they get all up in their head about these things that they want, or their fears or their insecurities, and they take impulsive action. Some of them are just materialistic. I want what I want now. And they're not willing to put in the slow and steady progress to believe that they can manifest their dreams into reality and to be inspired like by the divine and to align with high vibe energy of, if I keep putting in slow, steady steps, work and effort, having hope and faith and belief in myself, I believe I can manifest my dreams into reality. And some people are like, I want it now. And so that could also be why you're defensive to some people. You could have dealt with some immature people. You could have been with some people who kind of were more about themselves and they wanted what they wanted. And, you weren't sure and you could have gotten out of some of those relationships because we go from the 1 to the 7, which the difference is the 6 of Wands. You could have taken back a victory, something you had been moving forward in that you thought was going to be victorious. You realized wasn't going to be victorious because the 7 of Wands, you want to defend something that is moving forward in high vibe 6 of Wands energy. People being loving, nurturing, supportive, authentic, illuminating the truth. And you could have realized that some people weren't illuminating the truth and that their foundation could be kind of immature. They might have things of the world. They might use their things of the world to try to get people to move forward with them in relationship. We could have been worried about if we were going to get in a relationship, if we were going to have stability and security, we can get in relationships with people because of we have some of those same fears and concerns. But if both people aren't willing to move forward being authentic and balanced and just and fair, eventually we can see that, the eight of Swords is Gemini energy, and that is we have free will. What are we going to align with within ourselves? Our more loving, intuitive nature to guide us, or our more worldly, fearful nature to guide us, or self-interested nature? And you could have seen the truth that you kind of had made different choices of what dictates the decisions you make in your life. So there's some people that you did have to stand up for yourself against. And, you could be defending the people in your life that, you feel are moving forward with you, whether you got in a new relationship or not. Okay. So, what is the advice? A card not showing itself. And the reason is because of the 3 of Swords. So, the advice I think would be to, not everybody's got to know your business. And you don't have to, a lot of the important work we do in our life is done behind closed doors internally. When we change, our whole life changes. When we change our perspective of how we view ourselves, it affects our whole life. So let's go see what the card is. The 8 of Pentacles. Okay. And the 8 of Pentacles is Virgo energy, just like the 10 of Pentacles, about putting in work and effort to gain insight and understanding about some of the things that we maybe didn't realize that we were kind of naive and gullible to, and doing the inner work. And so it also could be, I think it's also saying, do not invest time, energy, and effort to work with people who you've already seen the truth, that when the 3 of Swords comes after the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords can be, that's the remaining 2 swords. We're in the 8 of Swords. What are those final 2 swords that we're going to align with to complete a cycle, to have a new beginning? And the 2 of Swords is Libra energy, about what do we think is just and fair? Am I going to listen to my intuition, or and let truth and love guide me? Or am I going to stay in denial of the truth? I don't want to see the truth. And I'm going to keep operating more from my ego, my fear, my materialistic self-interest nature. So the people who've already shown you that when they have to make a critical decision, they didn't choose love and truth. speaking truth, taking action in truth, being just and fair, making decisions that are best for everyone involved. They chose to take action that was hurtful and unkind and unjust and unfair, and they live more from their mind than their heart. So see the truth, and don't work with people who've already shown you that they don't they take action more in pride and ego, because that's the energy they're in right now, in their Capricorn energy, still being defensive. They do not want to be more balanced within themselves. They're tipped out of balance more into their worldly nature, self-interest nature, immature nature, materialistic nature, whatever. They're not on the same page as you. And so then we do this work within ourselves, and it's work that other people don't see that we're doing, because our Virgo nature, it is about taking this time within ourselves to see the truth. And the truth sets us free. Virgo goes within to see the truth so we can heal from past pain and heartbreak. Just because some people are defensive, a lot of people are defensive to love. Again, we live in a world of duality. Probably 50% of the world at any given moment is like, not doing love, man. I get hurt doing love. No, I don't want to be more vulnerable and authentic. No, I want to live more from my mind than my heart, which can be, I want to indulge myself, kind of get in relationships, but it's more about me living more from my mind than my heart. And it's kind of like me indulging myself in a relationship. Sometimes those people try to get in relationships with people who are high vibe. Oh, you're loving and nurturing and warm and hopeful and believing. Yeah, I like to be in a relationship with people like you. It's great to be in a relationship with people like you. But then as you go forward in the relationship, you kind of become defensive to them because they're defensive to you, and they're not in the same energy as you are. And it's like, well, so you get to be in a relationship with someone who's loving and warm and nurturing and supportive and balanced and isn't acting in a defensive way or a shadowy way or a fearful way or an egotistical way, but yet you're that way. So I'm not in a relationship with someone who's like me. I'm in a relationship with someone like you that isn't choosing to be warm and loving and nurturing and supportive. And sometimes we do that because it's kind of a pattern we have, because we all repeat certain patterns until we see the truth of it. Sometimes we're used to being in relationships with people, and maybe people we grew up with, where we kind of had to indulge people who were a little more maybe bossy or controlling or not very warm or nurturing or loving or just or fair. I mean, needless, we've all been children, and sometimes we can feel like it's not a just and fair and balanced relationship. And sometimes we grow up with people who aren't very loving and nurturing, we really haven't, it's still our comfort zone because that's the kind of people we have to deal with. And we can repeat that same pattern because it's in our comfort zone. And the whole point of repeating that pattern is to try to inspire us to see the truth and love ourselves and believe in ourselves and learn the lessons we were meant to learn, that I don't have to keep repeating that pattern. I'm now an adult and I can stand up for myself and what I believe in. And if people that I'm going to keep staying in close contact like every day and work with all the time, I want those people to be more aligned with their more loving nature. I don't want an unbalanced relationship where one person like gives and another person takes, or one person's loving and the other person's kind of cold and detached or whatever. And so it's all to help us learn lessons in life. And Sagittarius energy, if we're willing to learn the lessons from those life experiences, not to get in our ego about it. Well, those people weren't just or fair or loving. I'm defensive. Well, now I'm going to be defensive to love. I'm going to give up my dreams. We kind of get in our ego. Those people didn't love me. Now I'm going to give up my dreams of love. And it's like, I've just got to learn who I need to stand up to. I need to stand up to the people in the world who seem to have a lot of fear about getting out of their ego and being willing to learn lessons in life. To be inspired to even want to learn lessons in life. Oh, have I been acting in a way that isn't just, isn't fair, is selfish or bossy or whatever? Am I not very warm or giving or nurturing, and it kind of has you in a mental prison? Certainly don't want people in my life who I love to be in a mental prison wondering if I love them. Maybe, I need to be inspired to do some inner work within myself to figure out why I could act in certain ways that make people feel a certain way around me. I mean, we don't control how other people feel, but if other people aren't even sure if we love them, maybe we could think that we're acting in loving ways, but it isn't coming across as very loving, because sometimes some people think if I provide for you, therefore I love you. It's like, uh, giving me things of the world and not really investing time, energy, and effort to get to know me and invest time and energy in me, and where we kind of like that. I'm sure you get the point. So, do this inner work to see the truth. If I see people, I have learned lessons in life. I have dealt with different people in my life. Because of the different people I've dealt with in my life, I'm not going to be defensive to all people. I just have to take the lessons that I've learned. When someone shows me they're defensive, yeah, I've already been in relationships with defensive people before. And yeah, sorry, you're going to be a social acquaintance that I know. I am not going to invest in a long-term relationship with you. You're a friend. You're someone I know, a social acquaintance. When I meet people who are prideful or egotistical, yeah, I dealt with some people who are kind of prideful and egotistical. Yeah, no, I'm not going to work with you. I'm going to wish you peace and love like I offer anybody in the world and treat you with respect. And so long as, we get along in that way, that's the type of relationship that we have. If I see people seem to be in a mental prison about standing up for themselves, yeah, I've been in relationships with people who aren't willing to stand up for themselves. And no, basically, you've learned some lessons in life that some other people haven't. And until you meet people in your life who have learned some of those same lessons as you have, who do learn lessons in life, are motivated and inspired to heal. We've all got some fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs, but do I want to carry them with me forever? No, I want to dump that baggage. I want to work through it, and I'm going to do the inner work to figure out why I do have those. And I'm going to heal, and I'm going to get more balance within myself. And some people have no interest in doing that inner work. And they're kind of in their ego. I don't need to heal. I don't need to grow up. I don't need to mature. I don't need to quit being less lazy. I don't need to quit being defensive and petty and envious or jealous or materialistic. It's like, no, you don't. You just need to go find someone who wants to do that type of relationship with you, because it's not me. I like to be in more balanced relationships where people are willing to get out of their ego, to admit that life is a lifelong process of learning lessons in life and detaching from old ways of doing things, because we're not, I use the example all the time, but I think it's such a good example. Age 15, age 18, age 21, age 25. When we were 15, it was perfect to be a 15-year-old. But when we start to become an 18-year-old, we need to face our fears about stepping out of our comfort zone to become all we can be. And we shed some of our more 15-year-old ways of viewing life to become more like an 18-year-old. And then we're proud of ourselves because we did face our fears, and oh my gosh, I could get a job, and oh my gosh, I did learn how to drive. And, and then to become like a 21-year-old, it's the same thing. And we do that throughout our life. But some people don't. Some people are like, oh my gosh, if I get a job or like I get married, for some people, that's like the end all be all. I'm done. I got what I wanted. Look at me. I look victorious and successful in the world. Well, are you ever going to grow and mature or heal anymore? No, whatever I came into this with is what I'm going to have forever. So, and then other people do put in work and effort. And the thing is, with the truth sets us free to live our life differently, being enlightened to the truth. We don't view life the same way as we did before. And that's when we have a problem in a relationship, because some people are like, I don't want to step out of my comfort zone. I don't want to view life any differently. I don't want to face my fears. I want to keep doing life exactly the way I've done it. Always. But the thing is, there's nothing new to learn there. Everything we go through a phase of life, and it's like, there is nothing new to learn here. Everything I could have learned from this phase of life and life experience, I've learned. And then it can be heartbreaking because the other people are inspired to step out of their comfort zone, to move forward in life, maybe, be more authentically themselves, maybe feel more confident within themselves, shine their light in the world, not being as much manipulated by the world or their fear or their insecurity or other people as they used to in the past. Life's about becoming who you authentically were meant to be if you had hope and faith and belief and love in yourself and offered yourself love and compassion and forgiveness for the mistakes that you made. And some people are like, I don't like to take creative inspired action. I have fear of stepping outside my comfort zone. I like to stay in my comfort zone because then I feel like I know everything and I can control everything, and I don't like to take creative inspired action in my life. I like to defend. Well, I'm defensive to change. And so then we just have to see the truth of it. The truth sets us free. When we see that people are defensive to change, that they have a lot of fear and insecurity of being more authentically themselves or more vulnerable or more loving or more bold or brave and confident in the world, it's like they're stuck in a time warp, and they could stay stuck there forever, and they have free will. And it's not a reflection of our worth and value. And we could be sad because we wished some of those people would keep moving forward with us. But if they're defensive to dealing with their own past pain and heartbreak, that could be what stops them from moving forward in life, or they'd have to look at life differently, let go of their more worldly view of life, and be enlightened to the truth that it was meant to be about love. But again, some people are very much caught up in the world, and that is the most important thing to them, their ego and their image and people viewing them a certain way. And for some people, it's how they define their whole sense of worth. If they're things of the world, things happen in the world, and if theirs were to be taken away, it's like as if they think they'd be nobody. Other people know that there's more to them that makes them a valuable human being than I have this high paying job, or I'm in a relationship, or whatever. They're so much more valuable than that. But other people haven't done that work within themselves, and they kind of have given into the world to make their whole worth and value based on the world and how they think, in a way, the world views them, which of course the world could think they're a complete egotistical, materialistic idiot. But all that matters is what we think. Our life is what we think it is. We don't really know what the hell other people are thinking. But if we think, oh no, everybody thinks I'm this way and everybody thinks this, and oh my gosh, and I'm like this, and everybody views me this certain way, well, if that's what they believe, that's what they believe. Our world is kind of, a lot of it is based on just what we think. And if that's what they believe, then that's how they're going to keep living their life. And other people could be like, oh my gosh, this person's a complete idiot, But as long as they believe the illusion and aren't seeing the truth. So don't work with people who've shown you the truth. And with the Three of Swords being Libra energy, represented by the scales of justice, people who aren't just and fair, or what they think is just and fair, which can be more aligned with their worldly or self nature, instead of being motivated and inspired by love and being just and fair and more balanced in their life, and they're tipped out of balance into their fear or their materialistic nature or defensive nature. I've got to protect myself at all costs from being hurt. I can't do love. It's like, okay, I wish you peace, but I can't stay in friendships, workplaces, and relationships with people who haven't put in some work and effort to look at life from a higher perspective, that Not everybody wants to hurt you. Not everyone is trying to manipulate you. Or, you know, if you're really motivated by money and materialism and status and image, then you go for it. You do it. I'm leaving. And the advice, if you listen to the advice and put in work to heal from your own past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs, the outcome could be that you'll be happy because you did listen to your intuition. And our intuition was given to us as a gift to help us navigate this world, because people can present themselves any way they want to. We could have had our own fears and insecurities, and we could have gotten in relationships with people, and we thought in high vibe Leo energy that they were being authentic, that we thought they were a more warm, loving person who operated more from their hopeful, believing, loving nature than their more worldly nature. But the thing is, people can wear false masks, and sometimes we weren't listening to our intuition, and we all have lessons to learn in life. So I think, by listening to your intuition, that some people in their aligning their philosophy of life in their Taurus energy, they could have been hiding that they operate more from their more worldly nature, or they have a lack mentality, or they haven't learned to love and believe in themselves, defensive to having hope and faith and belief. Again, what is your philosophy of life? And Taurus is about our philosophy of life. And you realize that they have a different philosophy of life than you. And they could have been hiding that beneath the surface, and your intuition told you to let go of them. The Five of Pentacles moves away from the Four of Pentacles, where we could have wanted to hold on to a job or a friend or a way of viewing life or a romantic relationship. But we went through this life experience to learn lessons in life. And part of it could have been to learn to stand up for ourselves, and also to love and value ourselves, and not stay in situations where people could be doing things that are hurtful and unkind. Why would I keep staying in that type of relationship or where things are out of balance? And to put in the work and effort within ourselves, what could have drawn and attracted me to stay in that? Or did I listen to my intuition? Didn't I listen to my intuition? And now it's listening to your intuition to detach from an old way of living life or some people in your life, and to move forward with those people that you think are on the same page as you, harnessing high vibe Pisces energy, high vibe Taurus energy, my philosophy of life that guides the decisions. Because everybody in their Taurus energy, their Taurus aspect of self, which is kind of like the Supreme Court judge within your own head, is what dictates the decisions we make in our life. And you want to move forward whose philosophy of life is based on aligning with high vibe Pisces and Cancer energy. I want to be in a relationship with people who are connected in with their emotions and their intuition, who want to be in long-term emotionally fulfilling relationships, who want to, put in work and effort to maintain balance within themselves, that yes, there are these things of the world that I want, you want, different people have their things that they want in the world, but we're going to go about it in truth and love and character and integrity, and wanting to work to have those things in our life with other people in our life who are loving and balanced and just and fair and warm and encouraging. Some people are willing to sacrifice loving people or their own loving nature just to indulge in those things in the world, just like an addict would, right? And underneath that is the King of Pentacles, moving forward with other people who are inspired to free themselves from the things that manipulate them and tip them out of balance. And I view the King of Pentacles as Capricorn energy. And as we probably all know, shadowy Capricorn energy is represented by the devil. And within ourselves, we can either get into our much more base nature, which we read about in the newspaper, people who treat other people like animals, because we're part of the animal kingdom, but we're the only animal that can elevate ourselves to a higher level where we can become a much more stable, nurturing, loving, abundant person, because we have the free will choice to connect in with loving, nurturing energy, to become more than an animal and making it all about us and our pride and our ego, where we can be people who people want to work for, people want to work with, people want to be in relationship and marry, because they've grown and matured themselves and they've healed. They've kind of elevated themselves out of their more shadowy nature to be free of it, and made the free will choice in their Gemini energy. I choose to put in the work and effort to free myself from the things that manipulate me, that make me defensive to being open to giving and receiving love. And I am going to put in that work and effort behind the scenes within myself, while I maintain balance within myself, to heal from my own self-limiting beliefs, to align with listening more to my intuitive, loving nature than my worldly, fearful, insecure, defensive nature. And I'm going to keep moving forward. And I am going to grow to my full potential. And I'm going to move forward and invest in other people who my intuition is telling me. And we have no guarantees with people that we get into relationships with in life. But if we're listening to our intuition and we're being authentic and honest, and it can probably scare away some of the people who's like, oh shit, yeah, no, I'm not on that page. Sorry, I was just putting on a mask. It's like, shit, you're the real deal. It'll help chase off some of those people. And whatever relationship we get in next, it's for us to learn more lessons in life. And if we're willing to be a student of life, that, whatever comes my way, it's part of the adventure of life. I'm going to act with character and integrity. So no matter what happens, I can be proud of myself, and I can take the lessons I've learned forward with me to the next workplace, next friendship, next romantic relationship. And the other people, what are they going to take with, the fact that they still feel left out in the cold, but they might have these things of the world that they can get people to get in a relationship with them for. Look, I'm attractive. Look, I have money. Look, I have social clout or charm, or I'll have sex with you. Well, the people who might get in a relationship with them might get in a relationship with them because of those things that they offer people. High vibe people offer people love and encouragement and truth and justice and fairness. And that's why people want to stay in relationship with them. And some of the people who aren't doing that work could wonder maybe why things don't work out the way they wanted. And it's like, well, what were you offering people? Well, I had these things of the world I offered them. It's like, well, then that's probably why they were in the relationship with you. And if someone else came along with more of those things to offer them, if that's what they're motivated by, then, if you want to build a solid foundation, it has to be on truth and love. Let's ask you, though, what is coming up for people who harness some high vibe Capricorn energy that they might not see coming up? The page, the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, because of the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. I think as people go through this process within themselves, they will take the lessons they've learned to listen to their intuition and also be in life-giving energy within themselves, because they have become more independent and they have been listening to their intuition, and they've dealt with people who might in the world have a lot of things of the world, but they don't see the truth, and they keep thinking and aligning with their more worldly nature, and they don't want to see the truth, and you've seen the truth of that. So you're not in your ego about it. You know your worth and value. You're moving forward in truth and love, and being in relationships with some people who might have a lot of the things of the world, and you could have been on the same page with some people to a degree. You both could have been single. You both could have wanted to be in a relationship. You both were dealing with past pain and heartbreak. But eventually you saw the truth that you are willing to be more authentic and loving and warm to have new beginnings in your life, and the other person still hasn't worked through maybe whatever holds them back. So it's like, I wish you peace and love, but I'm ready to move forward in life differently and to be in a relationship or a long-term foundation, and you seem to still have some work to do, so I wish you peace. What's coming up for the people, and I think other people are going to see that you're in that energy and that you're moving forward. Who wants to move forward with me? Some people were just waiting for you to work through all of this because they don't want to be in relationships with people who are still working through the issues because they don't know kind of which way they're going to go. Like, if they want to be in a relationship with you, they don't know for sure what direction you're going to take. Have you healed? Have you moved on? And when they see that you've really moved on, that's when some other people are willing then to get in a relationship with you, because they see that you're not, you've healed from past pain and heartbreak or self-limiting beliefs or whatever issues you needed to heal from. What's coming up for people who harness a little more worldly or shadowy Capricorn energy that they might not see coming up? And yeah, I think other people who've learned the same lessons as you in life see that you know your worth and value, that you're stable and grounded within yourself. You're not acting from more codependent or worldly energy. And they've learned those lessons too, and they want to be in a relationship with someone like you, or hire you, or be your friend, or whatever. What's coming up for the shadowy people that they might not see coming up? We have the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Cups because of the Star card. Well, sometimes I view the Queen of Cups is, well, it can be that we still have some lessons to learn in letting what we love run our life. And sometimes what people love is themselves. Sometimes what people love is looking like a shiny star in the world. And they might have some people that are willing to be in a relationship with them for those reasons. Someone might view someone as, sometimes I view the Queen of Cups as where we're kind of repeating some old patterns, and especially in shadow energy. There's things about the way we have lived life, or we could still have some mother issues that we haven't resolved yet, so we're repeating a past pattern. And some people who also might be looking to someone who they think will be loving to them, or they view as loving, that might remind them of their mother, could look at this person as someone they want to have their dreams come into reality with. But the reason they might be making an offer to invest in someone is because they also might be more motivated by ego and image and money and materialism. And so the people who, and they could too, why aren't we moving forward? What unresolved pain and heartbreak do we have? There could be some truth they don't want to see about their own wounding that could have happened in childhood that makes them not trust people. And I think we're here to learn lessons in life. And if we weren't in the energy of love to work through those issues with people in our life who are loving and encouraging to us, we're probably going to have some people who come back into our life, or people who come into our life that actually kind of subconsciously remind us of those people. Oops, got an alarm on my phone. And it's kind of like we repeat a life experience. It's just different people, but they have some of the same traits and characteristics. They could actually be drawn and attracted to getting in relationships with people who remind them of people in their past. And it's all trying to get them to look at life from a higher perspective. Do you really want to keep repeating this old pattern? Because we will keep repeating an old pattern until we see the truth that it's time to go. And it's all trying to get them to look at life from a higher perspective, but people can keep being defensive. They could have loving people come back in their life, new loving people, because the divine's always trying to help people move forward, and they could keep being defensive, and the same scenario is going to play out again. But they also could align and get in relationship with someone who's more like themselves, because that's kind of what they're aligning with within themselves, is their more worldly, shadowy nature. And they could have someone who's willing to get in a relationship with them because of those things of the world. And then they're going to have to wonder, do I want to keep being in a relationship with someone who I think the only reason they're in a relationship with me is for the stability or the status or the ego or the image? It's like, well, that's what you offer people, you know? And so they get themselves in a conundrum. I don't want to do love. I offer people these things of the world. I kind of want to be in a relationship with someone who makes their life more about the world and not wanting me to grow and heal and mature, and I don't want them to grow and mature and heal. But then when I get in a relationship with them, I'm afraid the only reason they're with me is because of those, oh my gosh, pick a side. You know, if you're wanting to do the ego and the image and the money, then expect that people are going to get in a relationship with you because of the ego and the image and the money. If you want people to be in a relationship with you because of love, then go do the work within yourself to align with being loving. But some of these people, they stay perpetually heartbroken because, like, well, I want that, but I don't want to be that, and I want to be this. But then if I get in relationships with people who are loving, then I'm defensive to them because I don't want to deal with my issues. But then if I get in relationship with people who are like me, I'm defensive to them because they're kind of like me and kind of maybe not very loving or bossy or control. Such a conundrum. Love can set you free, but people have to deal with their pain and heartbreak and their self-limiting beliefs and their fear of love to do it. And some will never do it. So they perpetually stay in heartbreak. Their free will choice. So there you go, Capricorn. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.